Hi, folks. Welcome back to another week in English 9. This week, we are moving on with our study of poetry. I hope that you've had a chance to see some of the poems in that poetry analysis playlist that we looked at last week, because we're going to build on those this week. So the task here is to conduct an analysis of how the structure and language of a poem contribute to its meaning or purpose. As we're doing that, what you're going to be doing is looking at one poem in depth and analyzing the effects of its language and structure on its, again, meaning or purpose. And purpose here can also mean theme. So this week's assignment are all based on one big overview document. So that overview document is posted in the general resources area on Classroom. And I know that can be a little bit overwhelming, but we're going to break it down into steps in order to make sure that you understand what it is that you need to do. So first step, you're going to read over the assignment and answer some questions in order to make clear that you understand what's being asked of you. Then you're going to choose a poem that you'd like to analyze. Yes, it's the same poems that you had a choice of last week. And if you would like to use a selection from Poet X, you may. And then you'll choose one capture sheet and help you kind of flesh out your understanding of the poem. So on Google Classroom, this appears as a couple of different assignments. First, in the general resources area, there's a big picture assignment. That's an overview of the whole task from beginning to end. Each step is posted as a separate assignment on Classroom. And as I create those individual assignments, I'll update the links in the overview so that they link to those assignments in Classroom. So you can kind of think of that big picture overview as the table of contents for your work for the next couple of weeks. Even though this week is 3 steps, the first 2 are fairly straightforward in that one is to read the assignment and the second one is just to choose a poem. The third one is the graded assignment, and we'll look at what that looks like in just a second. So let's take a look at the assignment itself, and I'll walk you through each of the first 3 steps. Here's our big overview of the assignment as a whole. Again, in step 1, your job is to read over the assignment and answer the questions. Then, once you've had a chance to do that, you can complete this Google form. And this is just 3 questions asking you to explain the assignment in your own words, to think about where you might struggle the most when it comes to the assignment, and to address any additional questions that you have. So that's step 1. In step 2, you're going to choose one poem from the poetry analysis playlist, which you're planning to work at. And that shows up, if you click here, as a separate assignment on Classroom. So you'll open up this assignment, you'll highlight the poem that you've chosen, and you will then identify a specific poem that you're going to work with. And I do want to just take a second to post here that if you're choosing to select a poem from Poet X, that's totally fine, but you should identify in this box which one you're focusing on, okay? Then, so that's step 2. Step 3 is to unpack that poem a little bit more. So this is, again, a separate assignment on Classroom. If you click here, you'll see the assignment with the poetry analysis task here. So there are 2 organizers here, option 1 and option 2, and each one is designed to help you kind of break down what it is that you are getting out of the poem. I'll post a separate video later today about this assignment, just going over your choices and options. So that's steps 1, 2, and 3 for this week. Again, in step 1, you're going to complete the Google form. In step 2, you'll identify a text that you're going to work with. And then in step 3, you'll complete one of those 2 graphic organizers. This week, I'm not going to do any live teaching through Zoom like we did last week. And if you missed that session, the video is posted on Classroom. However, I do have office hours Tuesday and Thursday. And those office hours are now posted as a recurring event. So I'm not going to post the link each time. It will be the same link for all of our office hours from here forward. And then if you have any questions, again, you can always email me with those questions. So that's where we are for this week. Again, steps 1, 2, and 3 for your poetry analysis task board are all we've got going on this week. And if you have any questions about those assignments, please feel free to either email me or you can also post them to the class Padlet. And that's something we haven't really utilized yet. But if you're interested in using that, I think it would be a good practice. There's a link to the Padlet here. So if you post here, you can post questions that maybe you think other people might have, and I'll answer them there. So this platform is available to you for questions also. That's all I've got for you this week. So I'll hope to see you in office hours, either Tuesday or Thursday, or both if you just want to stop by. And you can always email me if you have questions. Thanks, guys, and I hope everyone is doing well at home.